Hi everyone, it's Sharon here. I'm here today to share another card for kuretake, and I'm going to be using the Gansai Tambi watercolours today. So before I start, I'm just prepping a piece of watercolour card with my EK Success powder tool. This just prevents any static and my fingerprints leaving marks that the embossing powder might stick to. I'm using Versamark ink here, and I'm just stamping a snowflake on the background. Now, because it's really hard to see where I've already stamped, as I go I'm going to put some powder on the images I've stamped just so I can see exactly where they are. I'm not going to heat the powder till the end, but if I add a bit of powder as I go, it just means I can see where I've already stamped and I get the placement just right. So I'm just doing the rest, and then I'll add some more powder. The powder I'm using is Wow embossing powder. This is their super fine bright white. The colours I use a lot I keep in these plastic tubs. I buy the big tubs from Wow and keep them in these pots. It saves having to use a tray or a piece of paper. It makes it a lot quicker. Now I've got my heat gun just out of camera. I'm letting it get nice and hot before I start. If you can hold your heat gun away from your project for about 30 seconds before you start it, and you get the gun nice and hot, you get less warping to your card. So I'm just heating all of these, melting the powder, and that's those all done. So now I'm going to start with my watercolours, and I'm just choosing some fairly light colours. I'm putting some white in to start, putting lots of white on my palette, and then I'm adding a touch of the bright pink. I want a fairly pale pink, so I'm adding lots of water and lots of the white. The colours in the Gansai Tambi on their own are quite vibrant, so you do need to add the white if you want some pastel shades, as well as lots of water. So I'm doing the same to add another colour, lots of water and lots of white, and then I'm literally just touching it in this purple because it's actually quite a dark, vibrant purple. So this is going to give me the nice lilac shade I want. So I'm going over again a couple of times, and I'm going to let the colours sort of blend together a little bit. So I can put that side to dry, and I've cut a circle from some white cardstock, and I'm just going to add some stickers. These are from the latest Simon Says stamp kit. I think it was the January kit actually, and I thought these would be ideal for a winter card that wasn't too sort of Christmassy. So I've simply stuck the sticker onto the die cut, and I've also die cut from with the same die a piece of foam. Now because it squashes the foam quite a bit, it kind of ends up almost a little bit bigger than the paper die cut. So I can use the stitch mark on this as a guideline just to trim it just a tiny bit, so that I can stick it to the back of my card circle without any of it showing. So I've added the foam to that, and I'm just going to prepare my card. I'm going to put my watercolour piece on some light blue cardstock just to give it a matte. So I'm just using double-sided tape to add on the back. So I'm going to stick this onto my blue cardstock. I'm not worrying about it being too precise because I'm going to use my Perfect Layer ruler to put a border all around the edges. This is a fantastic tool. I think you get 3 different rulers in the set, and there are different size borders that you can leave. Basically it's got sort of little ridges that you line up against the cardstock and use a craft knife to cut it, and it gives you a perfect border. This is one of the thinner borders that are on the rulers, but I think they go up to about 1 inch, so it's really handy for for matting and layering things, especially if you're like me and doing it by hand, always get it wonky. So that's all perfectly done, and I can carry on putting the card together. So next step is to put this onto my card blank, and I'm just using my ATG gun for this. So I've finished putting my card together. I've just added the die cut with the sticker onto the front of the card, and now I'm just prepping a bit of black cardstock. I'm going to create a little greeting strip at the bottom. So I've used my powder tool on this black card, and I'm stamping the greeting in Versamark, and I'm going to line it up against the top of the card so that I can easily cut a thin strip. So that's the first part, and I'm just going to stamp the second part underneath. This stamp set is also from Simon Says Stamp. It was part of the January kit as well, in the same set as the stickers. So I'm just inking up the second part, and I'll pop that underneath. And then I'm going to use the same white embossing powder for this, and I'll heat emboss it. And here's the finished cut strip. I'm going to use my scissors just to create a little banner from this. So I'm just going to snip into the card about halfway through, and then I'll go from each edge into the centre, into the top of where I've cut, and that creates a good little flag. It's quicker. I have got dies that do this, but it's a bit quicker to just do it with some scissors. And I'm using my Zig glue pen just to add some glue to the back of this. This gives me a little bit of wiggle room because it won't dry instantly, so if I don't get it quite straight, it means I can play around with it a bit. So I'm happy with that, and I can just trim off that little bit of excess. And I felt that it just needed a little bit of something extra, so I've taken one of the little snowflake stickers from the kit, and I'm just adding that in the corner of my text strip. And now I'm just putting a dot of glue, and I'm going to pop one of these little flat back pearls onto the sticker, and I think that finishes it off nicely. And here's the finished card. I'll put details of all the products I've used in the description box down below on YouTube, so if you're interested in any of the products you can find all the details there. Thanks for watching. Bye.